There, just been for a swim. You know, a lot of people say, what an easy life I've got, but they just don't understand the stresses caused by just looking for ways to relax. It's just a constant struggle. But hey, that's for another day. Today's topic is, what is the nicest thing anybody's ever done for you? Well, I've struggled with this one the most because I've had some nice things done for me over the years, but which one do you choose? And as RJ said in his, you pretty much better be my wife, otherwise you'll never speak to me again. But as it happens, I think it is something my wife did for me, before she was my wife actually. We'd been together about 4 years, spent the first 4 years living in a rented thatched cottage in a lovely village called Fotheringham, and then we decided to buy our own house. And my next birthday after we had our own house, she said, right, we're off to get your birthday present. And she drove, and I'm in the passenger seat, and we drove for 10 minutes or so, and as we pulled off this main road, she made me close my eyes, and we carried on driving. And when we got to where we were going, I still had to keep my eyes closed, and she handed me a present and told me to look down and just open the present. So I opened the present, and in it was a dog's lead and a dog's collar. And when I looked around, she'd brought me to the local dog rescue. So in we went and looked at the dogs. I mean, it's such a hard thing to do when they all need a home. Fortunately, it wasn't very big. There was probably only 10 or a dozen dogs in there. But I came to one particular dog, and not only was she the sort of dog I like, medium build, sort of collie cross, but she was the most pathetic looking dog in the entire shelter. So that was it. I chose her. I had to wait 3 or 4 days before I could get her, because the time they keep them to see if an owner turns up hadn't been reached yet. So a few days later I went to get her. I was there an hour and a half before they opened, just to make sure nobody else got her first. And that then began an 11-year love affair, a mutual love affair. I decided to call her Boogie, because obviously she didn't have a name. Well, she did, but I didn't know what it was. And I called her Boogie after the dog in one of my favourite funny books, 500 Mile Walkies. She turned out to be an absolutely amazing dog. I had her 11 years. She was loyal, loving, never destroyed a thing in all the time we had her, despite the fact that in the early years particularly, we both were out at work, so she was on her own all day. But she was just a wonderful dog. I think anyone that has a number of dogs in their lives, there's probably always one really special dog. Well, she was it. I was lucky with her throughout her life. When she was about 7 years old, I came down one morning and she was in a basket and she couldn't move. She was in agony with her neck. Took her to the vet, and the vet gave her some pills, and a few days later it was no better, so we went back, and the vet started saying those words you don't want to hear. Maybe the kindest thing to do might be, etc., etc. But anyway, she referred us to an orthopaedic vet in the nearest city. So I took her there, and he said she'd damaged one of the discs in her neck, and basically he could put her under anaesthetic, inject dye in, and see whether or not it was operable. And there was only a 50-50 chance it was operable. And then if he operated, there was only a 50-50 chance that it would actually be a success. Well, I'm not a particularly lucky person, so those sort of odds aren't in my favour. Fortunately, that day my luck was in, because he was able to operate and it was a complete success. So I had another lovely 4 years with her. In the end, she developed a bad heart, but with the vet's help, we kept her alive for another happy, if not completely healthy, year, until finally she died. And I still miss her. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.